In your time, in your career, especially when you get to play for one of the most storied, if not the most storied organization in all sports, wants to honor you in any way, I think it's a no-brainer. So for me and my family, this was something that they wanted to see me do. People that know me know that, these things I know sometimes people don't believe me, but they're a little bit uncomfortable for me. It's a lot, it's really emotional. And I never really like to show my emotions too much, so, but it always brings out the best in me. And to have my family and everybody here, it was a no-brainer for me to want to do this. Obviously, I'm involved in media now and covering sports and hockey specifically for now, but Montreal has been very, very lucky over the existence of this franchise to have a lot of winning teams. And part of that is the grind, That's what the celebration is all about. When you see people hanging off of lampposts and, jumping around in the streets, it's because of the times that aren't easy to be a fan. And I think, there's a lot to cheer for. There's some really good young players on this team. And I was talking to Jeff before the game, he's like, it's, our team's going through a rebuild right now. We're going through, he didn't specifically say rebuild, but he said that we have a young team and we're working through a lot of different things. And I told him that there's a lot of bright spots. I was in New Jersey for 3 years, and, those were tough years for those young kids to learn, but they're coming out on the other side of it. So there's a lot of positive things to look for in this team. And I'm excited for the team. And my message, was pretty simple. When you put that jersey on, leave it all on the ice, because they cheer for the players that do that. They really do. And that's what it's about. To be able to celebrate this moment with some of my teammates, I wish Andrei Markov could have been here tonight. I actually exchanged some messages with him last night, and I know I didn't have all the time in the world to speak, but there were, he would have been definitely one of the players that I would have spoke about specifically, because he had such a massive impact on my career. And when I first met Marky, we weren't always on the same page. We come from different cultures. We have different personalities. So, it's emotional talking about him, because, I used to go and sit at the Russian table every day for lunch to try to learn Russian, and I know he appreciated that. So there's an appreciation between us, not just as ex-teammates, but as friends. And, he's one of those guys that I think, and this is just my opinion, but his jersey should be up in the rafters. He's one of the best players, one of the best defensemen to ever play the game. So to be able to have Carey there tonight and to support me was, it meant a lot. It meant a lot. I've played in some really great cities, New Jersey and Nashville. The run that we went on, how great it was. But playing in front of these fans, I could only hope that every athlete gets an opportunity, not just hockey players, but athletes get an opportunity to play in front of fans like this every night. And I never took that for granted. And that would be the message that I would say to any player that puts on this jersey is, you don't want to look back one day and say, wow, I was playing in that city and there were nights that I took shifts off, or I didn't relish the moment of playing in a city on an ice rink where people care about what you do. Everything, every little thing that you do matters. They cheer about it, they notice it. Like watching the game, watching the first period today was, I've never watched the first period of hockey like that with the fans so engaged, other than a playoff game. So, it's really a special place to play. And for players that are playing here now and in the future, I said it earlier, bring that same energy to the game that you see the fans bring every night to cheer you on. If you do that, you'll meet somewhere in the middle, and I think that's why I get a lot of the respect that I get from them. I didn't win a Stanley Cup here, but I earned their respect with how hard I worked on the ice.